Jeremiah Yeager became very irate with me after coming home roughly 8:30 p.m. on March 27th, 2017. And he was very belligerent with me. I couldn't do anything to make him happy. It also brought two friends to my apartment that evening. And as the evening progressed, he and I argued in my apartment, downstairs in the gravel driveway. He pistol whipped me. He pointed the semi-automatic rifle at me in various parts of my body, gouged it into my skin several times. He strangled me till I passed out, and then I saw him shoot Officer Fry.
And so he strangled you. When you say strangled you, it wasn't just for a brief time, it was until you lost consciousness?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, the police arrived, is that right?
Yes.
And was that officer, I mean, you might not have known him, but you now know who it was.
That was Officer David Fry.
And do you believe that he assisted in saving your life that evening?
Yes, sir.
And I know in relation to the incident, I think you told me you had a prepared statement that you'd like to read to the court.
Absolutely.
And I think you said it was on your phone, so
Yes.
I'm gonna turn it over and let you take care of that and read it to the court right now.
Thank you. Jeremiah Yeager, today I finally have the opportunity to make sure you know about my feelings. So if I say something that you don't agree with, that's too bad. I chose to stand here today to promote my own healing so you'll not see me struggle to protect your feelings. From the very beginning, you showed me what love is not. You plunged so deep into your narcissistic paranoia that I was always defending myself from your delusion. Always trying to get you to understand that when I say I was alone, I wasn't alone. That when we were out, I wasn't looking at other men. I wasn't flirting with other men. That when I said I was at work, I was at work. And speaking of my work, your paranoia seemed to center around my job. You see, every day, I'd go to my little cubicle at the Boone County Welfare Department because people needed food stamps, people needed medical care, people needed help with their utilities, clothing their children. But all you needed was for me to keep assuring you that, like some clueless moron, I wasn't leaking personal information about you to state government, as that was all you were consumed with. And if you think back, think hard. There was something I kept telling you the whole time through all this. I'll tell you that someday, somehow, you'd realize that your accusations against me were foolish, and that I hadn't done any of those demeaning and low things that you were accusing me of. And when you realized it, you'd feel the guilt. Well, today is Wednesday, August 28th, 2019, and if today is not the day that you realize that, then I don't know what day it will be. Jeremiah Yeager, you ruined my life. Ruined my life. My home, my job are lost. And those are just material things. I have flashbacks. I have panic attacks. So severe, I even have them in my sleep. I cry often. I can't enjoy fireworks. Because all I can hear and all I can really see are the shots that you lodged into Sergeant Fry. And if you don't recall, Sergeant Fry took bullets that were intended for me to be lodged into my body. And you also ruined the lives of my family and my close friends. anybody that cares about me, change their lives forever. They worry, am I safe? Where am I? Did you come get me again? Did someone hurt me that you're an accomplice with? It's a life of hell. The people that love me. Jeremiah Yeager, during the 5+ hours of torture you put me through that night, you called me names that I could not repeat in the presence of my dad and your mom here today. I really thought the worst that you did to me was all physical. I mean, why else would my fear of you drive me to run across the road and jump in the creek at roughly 2 a.m. in March, a freezing cold creek? Why? Because I knew you wanted to kill me. And that muddy creek bank was the only protection I had between myself and any potential bullets from that semi-automatic rifle I had just seen you shoot Officer Fry with. So once I jumped in the creek and I came up soaked and gasping for air, I literally elbowed my way to the creek bank because that's where I was going to position my body in the most mangled up way I could think of. I needed to look like I was dead. I needed to look like I was dead because for all I know, you were out there looking for me, and for all I know, you were going to find me. And if I could just make you think that I was dead, then maybe you wouldn't crack my skull with the butt of that pistol anymore. Maybe you wouldn't gouge the barrel of the SKS into my temple anymore. But even before all that, before I ever fled my apartment, Jeremiah, you did sickening things to me. And you know you did. I mean, after all, you cracked the butt of the pistol against my nose, forehead, back of my skull. Several times in the parking lot downstairs, you tackled me to the gravel ground, put me in a chokehold, and you said that I was falling on purpose because I wanted sympathy. You said that. Doesn't matter whether or not you remember, because I do. If you don't remember, maybe it's because you were not on the receiving end of that tyranny. You crushed my glasses, you strangled me with an extension cord until the blackness just overtook me. You crammed the barrel of a semi-automatic rifle between my shoulder blades, the back of my neck, my temples, and under my chin, more times than I can even count. Then I watched you purposely shoot Sergeant Fry. And for a few days, I thought that was the worst you'd done to me. That's until I began to feel the cuts and bruises on my body. But even that wasn't the worst. The worst part are the scars you left on my heart. Quite literally, I live with a broken spirit. Only a horrible monster would do that to someone. You understand it? You don't. And now, here we have me, Lisa Young, victim to your paranoid tirade. I'm nothing like I was. I'm not much like my true self at all. But I'm coming back around. I'm coming back around. Sometimes I notice that I'm happy, lighthearted, like I was before. But I shouldn't have had to fight like that just to regain myself. I shouldn't have had to fight like that. I refuse to be a victim. I refuse. I will not let the title of victim define the way I live, how I feel, or how I interact with others. Whenever reminders pop up that remind me of torture, I just see myself as a former victim. And I do know one thing for certain. It does not matter if you walk out of this courthouse free today. It does not matter if it's 20 years from now or tomorrow. You'll never lay a hand on me again. You'll never, ever touch me again. And you think about that and you put it in your mind. You'll never touch me again. Ever. And as a brief word to others, I just need to say that domestic violence is not a respecter of persons in the same way that death is not a respecter of persons. It doesn't matter who you are. If domestic violence wants to attack you, then it will. And I want anyone to know that domestic violence doesn't have to be your life. It does not have to be your life, and it doesn't have to cause your death. I'm blessed, and I'm a miracle, and there's no reason why anyone else that suffers from this can't be a miracle too. So, Jeremiah Yeager, having said all this, it's important for me to let you know that by the grace of God, I do not hate you. Jeremiah, I do not hate you. On Tuesday, March 28, 2017, I laid in those freezing cold creek waters, and right there, I forget that I prayed a prayer to Jesus to let him know that I forgave you, and that was, and it still is, a complete forgiveness. Then I asked Jesus that he would see fit that no one died. Even then, lying there in that creek, I could not imagine the families of Sergeant Fry, of myself, of you, our families going to a funeral home to make arrangements. I couldn't bear knowing that any of our families may have to choose hymns or pick out flowers for our funeral services through unspeakable grief. I couldn't handle that Sergeant Fry, myself, you, would be laying in forever silent coffin. Could not bear it. Could not. God answered my prayer that night, and he saved 3 of us and everyone else that was involved. And Jeremiah, although I don't hate you, and although I've completely forgiven you, I still feel a lot of anger because of your actions. I understand that you have accepted Jesus Christ as your Savior. So, although it's hard to accept, I can't look at you as my attacker. I have to regard you as my brother in Christ. I have to do that. So, and it's not easy, but I pray for you. I do. And I would hope that as long as you walk within the sight of the Lord, that he would grant you favor for all your good works that you have done. Do not mean that from the bottom of my heart. Do not hate you. Now, before I close, I find it's only appropriate that I say a word in regard to West Virginia State Trooper Sergeant David Fry. Sergeant Fry, you took bullets into your surely intended for me. And incredibly, that's part of your job. That's part of your job. Last year, you were recognized by Governor Jim Justice. He presented you with the Purple Heart, a Medal of Honor, and you held the title of 2017 State Trooper of the Year. And tell me, who could deserve those honors any more than you? And who could I think of as my hero any more than you? Who? Sergeant Fry, I watched you comment on the news that you responded simply because your number was pulled. And I couldn't agree more. Because you're the only one that God saw fit to come save me. It was more than just you're there to do your job. You were there because God knew I needed help, and He knew that it needed to come specifically from you, Sergeant Fry. I could have been a senator laying in that creek. I could have been a well-known philanthropist. I could have been a heartless deadbeat laying there. But it didn't matter what kind of person I was. Because you understand, so many firefighters, first responders, paramedics, law enforcement, some of them having to get out of bed because their families goodbye, came to rescue me. Me, and I'm nobody. And the bravery of their response started with you, Sergeant Fry, because of your initial bravery. None of that would ever have happened had you not done your job with so much valor that night. I don't have any awards to present to you today, Sergeant Fry. All I have is my all and my appreciation for you. It'll never be enough, but with all my heart and soul, I say thank you. And I am so deeply sorry for any physical and emotional trauma that you and your family suffered. And someday, when I'm ready, I plan to speak to domestic violence victims, and that is exactly how I will show my appreciation for what you did for me. So again, to my hero and to the man that saved my life, Sergeant Fry, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And now, Jeremiah Yeager. Consider the severity of that entire night's events. Consider the ramifications, the whole vast configuration, everything that happened from the beginning until now. Do you understand what you've done? Or do you? You came so close to becoming a murderer. So close. And seeing as how I was admitted to the hospital that night for assault and hypothermia, I barely escaped becoming a homicide victim. Just another statistic. Now, there's also within the West Virginia State Police a wall and a hallway, and that hallway holds the pictures of slain state troopers from as far back as is known until present. You almost saw to it that Sergeant Fry was put on that wall. You almost saw to it that his picture and a few words about his valor were put on that wall. small thing that you did. You've ruined my life. You've affected Sergeant Fry's life. You've probably ruined your own life and the lives of anybody that cares about the three of us. It's very difficult. But I just want you to think on those things. Think on that. Do you know what you've done? Do you know what you did? But that's all I have today. But thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Prosecutor, do you have anything else?
I do not,
Regarding
Judge.
this witness. Mr. McCoy, did you have any questions that you wish to ask?
Just a couple.
You may.
And Lisa, I'm sorry for your situation here, really. And I wanted to ask you, I take it in your statement, you had actually forgiven Mr. Yeager for his transgressions against you, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I take it that sometime after he was put in jail, you maintained a friendly, at least a friendship with Mr. Yeager, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you had written and exchanged letters and notes
Yes, sir.
and talked on the phone,
Yes, sir.
and even attended his pretrial hearings with his family and
Mm-hmm.
sitting with them and even communicating with Jeremiah while in court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And I take it at this point, you don't, I would ask you, of course, he's incarcerated and everything. You've stated that, in your opinion, that he's hurt the lives of yourself and Trooper Fry. But you have maintained a relationship. I guess you all were boyfriend, girlfriend for some time, is that correct?
We were a couple for roughly 5 to 6 months.
I'm
that's-
sorry, I couldn't get it. Was that 3 to 5?
5 to 6 months.
5 to 6 months, I'm sorry. Please continue.
And I take it during that time, you realized from time to time that Jeremiah was slipping out of what I would call being oriented.
Yes.
Okay. And that may have raised some concerns to you, I take it, your relationship with him.
Yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
No.
All right, thank you. All right, any redirect?
No, sir, Your Honor.
May this witness step down to be excused from further testimony.
On behalf of the state of West Virginia, yes, sir.